All right, Mr. Gilstrap, so we're out here today to do some of these repairs for you, and we had just some concerns that kind of came up. So we're basically what we're going to do is we're just going to film repairing one of these shingles, just to kind of document how the repair goes. So we basically have our shingle that we're repairing or replacing marked here in white. Our repair area is marked in yellow. And then if anything comes up, just for documentation, I will mark any condition changes in the other shingles around it in blue, just to document this to make sure that we're getting you squared away properly. So I'm going to start off by just unsealing the rest of our assessment shingle. It has a little torn tab on here. I will kind of stop throughout this and kind of take any photos if necessary. So let's do this. Yeah, so sorry, quick text. But yeah, I'm going to start off by unsealing the rest of our assessment shingle and then removing our fasteners. So whenever I start trying to unseal these shingles, or anytime I'm doing any repairs, I always like to try to find either a spot that's already unsealed a little bit, or come under and over and under the sawtooth or the applique, just because it's the thicker part of the shingle, less chance of doing any kind of damage or anything like that. Taking time, so got one unsealed. Now we have to unseal 5, 6, and 7 due to just removing the fasteners, and we unseal all of number 5. So we have room to work to install our new fasteners, and number 6 here. Go. I'll unseal. Oh, okay. So I've got my flat bar flat to the surface of the roof. I came under and over an applique, and number 7 just tore right here. So just even trying to remove some of these fasteners, I've already run into a hiccup here, where number 7 is torn. Just this tear. Tear on number 7 while unsealing. Tear on number 7 while unsealing. All right, let's go ahead and finish unsealing 7 here. So once again, coming over and under an applique, thicker part of the shingle, trying to make sure I take my time. Sealant release. All right. So we have all of our shingles unsealed now. So what we need to do here is start removing our fasteners. So basically what we're going to do is come under the assessment shingle and remove the fasteners from number 5. When I'm lifting these too, I try to lift at the applique, thicker part of the shingle. Once again, you know, always trying to take our time, be diligent about how we affect the shingles around it. A little bit more stubborn. Alright, that one came out just fine. So we have all of our first course row of fasteners removed here. Now I'm going to go over number 6 and under number 7. Once again, we now have that tear in here, so I got to be a little bit more delicate with this shingle and try not to affect it anymore. So trying to take my time here, but we did end up with a little pull through here on number 6. Just due to the shingles being a little brittle, but basically the nail head pulled through the shingle, which creates like a hole in number 6, which will have to be caulked when doing repairs and stuff like this. It just kind of changes the integrity of it. Pull through on number 6. Actually kind of tore right at the nail strip. Get this picture without. Pull through on number 6. That should be it. All right, there we go. So we have all of our fasteners removed now. So kind of do a little comparison here of these are current shingles. This shingle is 39 3/8 metric size shingle, and basically these current shingles that you have on the roof seem to be just a little shorter. These are 38 3/4. So let me just document this. Current shingle is 38 3/4 and shorter than standard metric shingles. So that being said, most manufacturers say to not really trim a whole lot of shingles because these are cut in the factory, and if I try to take this new shingle and put it in here, it's going to be too long. So in the sake of just working on the repairability here of this roof, I'll go ahead and just trim this one, even though it's kind of against what manufacturers specify traditionally. But let's makes it so much harder when you're trying to do these because as a human you can't really cut things as square and perfectly as the manufacturer does in the factory. And that means, if you have 48 shingles up here that need to be replaced, it means cutting 48 shingles that, aren't going to be exact matches. Allows chances for potential for leaks and different things like that, just non-compatibility. All right, I always like to check out our underlayment while I'm up here. And, so actually, you have 2 layers of shingles on this roof. Looks like you have a 3-tab under this, so I can't see our underlayment. I don't know if it's felt or what the decking looks like. Checking underlayment after shingle has been removed. No underlayment visible due to second layer of shingles. All right, so now that we have everything out too, we want to kind of check our shingle that we removed. Just take a look for any glaring issues here. Tear. A little bit of mat transfer on number 6 here. That occurred. Mat transfer from assessment shingle to shingle 6. Mat transfer on the underside of number 6. All right, so let's try to get this new shingle installed. So we're going to slide this in here. See it. Trying to cut these off, the proper length is a bit more challenging than it can seem. Well, now what I've done is I've actually cut the shingle too much, so I'm just going to document this and we're going to try to work through this here. New shingle after having to cut was cut too short. Replacement shingle was a different size and was cut too short. So just for the sake of finishing up kind of what would happen here on this repairability is we're just going to reinstall your old shingle, just kind of complete the repair. I guess just kind of evaluate the rest of it. We've already had some issues here with mat transfer, pull through and to tear, but we know this shingle fits, so we're going to just slide this one back in. Different shingles have different sealant strips, which can create other issues as well. We don't really know what this current shingle is. So let's just complete our repair assessment, or repair here. And hammer. So I'm going to start off by coming under number 5 and 6 to install our new fasteners. Once again, lifting 5 with the back of my hand just to try to prevent any other tears or anything like that. Now, I'm lifting the shingle only high enough to be able to install the fastener flush to the decking. Manufacturer's specifications say that all fasteners need to be flush to the decking to secure them properly. So I'll just kind of show you why I'm lifting as high as I am. And then even on top of this, you got to lift a little higher so you have room to strike. All right, now we're gonna go under number 7. And due to that tear here, I gotta be a little bit more careful the best I can. Which, when situations like this happen, we need to replace number 7 as well. We only had this one shingle up here with us just to try to do a repair for you today. And then you can see right here, as I'm lifting, I'm getting some delamination on number 7. Let's go ahead. It was not present before we started. Number 7 ends up having a little bit more tension on top of it because the shingles above it aren't unsealed. Delamination of the applique on number 7. Fasteners in here. Yeah, we're getting more delamination or like tenting right here on number 7. Here. All right, so we had delamination kind of in a couple of places here on number 7 now. Check number 6. Number 6 a little bit, but nothing that I would be too concerned about. Number 5 though, we have quite a bit. Delamination to applique of shingle number 5. So we came up here to do a repair for you on one of these wind damaged shingles. Unfortunately, I cut that shingle too short, which at that point would leave a big gap or a channel for water. And we're having other issues. At this time, with the shingles being a different size, we're gonna send one of these shingles off to get it analyzed, just so we can figure out what shingle you have and go from there. Thanks.